Welcome to the Deep Dive Library, where raw truths meet real growth. No fluff, just bold talks on business, money, and mindset. Ready to level up? Let's dive in.
Yeah, let's do it. Today we're tackling something huge, something we hear about a lot.
Absolutely. It's all about boosting self-confidence, figuring out how to overcome that nagging self-doubt, and really building this unshakable belief in yourself.
And you've sent in some really pressing questions around this. Things like, how can you boost your self-confidence, like quickly?
Yeah, the quick win question. And also, what are those daily habits that really confident people seem to practice?
Right. And that big one. Why do I constantly doubt myself? And crucially, how can I make it stop?
Plus, building confidence in social situations, that's a tricky one for so many.
Definitely. And finally, people are asking, what books or videos have actually helped others become more confident? Any resources?
So our mission today really is to unpack all of that using the knowledge from the materials we've gathered. We want to give you actionable insights, maybe a fresh perspective.
Exactly. Practical takeaways you can actually use. So where should we start? Maybe defining our terms. Self-esteem versus self-confidence.
Good idea. Because they're related, but not quite the same thing, are they? Self-esteem. That feels more fundamental.
It is. It's that core sense of your own value, your worth as a person. It's internal. Feeling like you matter, even when things are tough or people criticize you.
It's that deep down okayness with yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And self-confidence, that's a bit different. It's more about believing in your specific abilities.
Right. Believing you can do something, like learn a skill or handle a task or achieve a goal.
Precisely. You could actually have decent self-esteem, value yourself generally, but still lack confidence in, say, public speaking or, learning to code.
And the reverse could be true too, maybe. Someone might seem confident but lack that deeper self-worth.
It's possible, though often they go hand in hand. What's clear is that when either one is low, it really impacts how you move through the world.
Oh, definitely. It feels like you're operating with the brakes on, holding back, feeling inadequate.
Yeah. And one of the traps we fall into, something highlighted in our materials, is trying to get that feeling from the outside.
External validation, right. Chasing likes or promotions or needing others to tell you you're okay.
Exactly. Popularity, possessions, trying to manipulate how people see you. It doesn't build real self-esteem.
Because you could have all that be admired, have the stuff, and still feel empty or insecure inside. It has to come from within.
That's the core message. Authentic self-esteem, the kind that gives you resilience, it's built through internal practices.
Which leads us perfectly into those 6 pillars of self-esteem from Nathaniel Branden's work. These seem foundational.
They really are. They keep coming up. These are the internal practices that will build that solid foundation.
Okay, let's break them down. Pillar number 1, living consciously. What does that actually look like day to day?
Well, living consciously is basically about being awake to your own life. It's being aware of what you're doing while you're doing it.
Not just sleepwalking through the day.
Right. It's about being present, wanting to know the facts of a situation, seeking feedback, even the uncomfortable kind, and being willing to question your own assumptions.
That sounds active, requires effort.
It does. There's even an exercise mentioned, the sentence completion thing. If I bring a higher level of consciousness to, completing that regularly is supposed to uncover hidden beliefs.
Interesting, like shining a light on your own blind spots. Okay, what's pillar number 2?
Self-acceptance. And this is crucial. It's not about thinking you're perfect or denying your flaws.
So it's not resignation, like I'm terrible and that's okay.
No, not at all. It's more about being on your own side. Accepting your feelings, all of them, the good, the bad, the messy, as valid. Accepting your impulses.
And your mistakes too.
Yes, acknowledging mistakes without launching into harsh self-criticism. One source even linked physical relaxation to self-acceptance, like you're not hiding from yourself.
That makes sense. Tensing up is often a sign of fighting something within yourself. So accepting the whole package, warts and all.
Exactly, which ties into the third pillar, self-responsibility.
Okay, taking responsibility. For what exactly?
For your choices, your actions, your life, basically. Owning your achievements, but also your failures. Recognizing you play a key role in your own happiness or unhappiness.
It's about being the driver, not the passenger in your life.
Perfectly put. Highly self-responsible people, the material suggests, are solution-oriented. They don't waste energy on excuses or blaming others.
I remember reading about that anecdote of absolutely someone's relationship suffering because they weren't taking responsibility. It really showed how crucial that is.
It undermines you if you don't own your part. Okay, pillar 4, Self-assertiveness.
Speaking up for yourself.
Yeah, but appropriately. It's being willing to express your thoughts, your feelings, your needs, your values. It requires courage, for sure.
And the act of doing it actually builds self-esteem.
Directly, yes. Because you're honoring yourself. Again, sentence stems can help explore this. Like, self-assertiveness to me means getting clear on what it looks like for you.
If you constantly swallow your thoughts or let people walk over you, that's got to chip away at your sense of self.
Absolutely. Which brings us to number 5, living purposefully.
Having goals, knowing where you're headed.
Exactly. It's about having clear goals, understanding what you're working towards, and, importantly, taking action to get there. Living intentionally.
Not just drifting along.
Right. There was that story about the speaker applying purpose even to relationships, making success a conscious goal. And another about overcoming procrastination by committing to a solution. It's about deciding your direction.
So intention plus action. Got it. And the final pillar, number 6.
Personal integrity. This one's about alignment, congruence.
Between what?
Between your ideals, your convictions, your standards, your beliefs, and how you actually behave. Are you living in accordance with what you claim to value?
Walking the talk. Being honest, reliable, trustworthy.
Precisely. And understanding guilt comes into play here. Recognizing when you genuinely violated your standards versus feeling bad about things outside your control.
And there were steps mentioned for when you do mess up, right? How to restore integrity.
Yes, 5 steps. Face what happened. Understand why it happened. Acknowledge any harm done. Try to make amends if possible. And commit to doing better. It's about repair and learning.
Again, that reflective piece seems key. Thinking about integrity to me means...
Definitely. And the big takeaway about these pillars is they're interconnected. Practicing them builds self-esteem, and having self-esteem makes practicing them feel more natural. It's a positive cycle.
Okay, that's a really solid framework. Understanding those pillars feels essential. But let's get practical now. People want to know, how can I boost my confidence quickly, and what are those daily habits?
Right, the immediate actions. Well, a huge theme is simply being kinder to yourself. It sounds basic, but it's powerful.
How does that translate into action, though?
Consciously practice positive self-talk. Like, actually notice the negative chatter and replace it. Speak to yourself the way you'd speak to a friend you care about.
That takes practice. We're often so much harsher on ourselves.
We are. Writing down things you genuinely like about yourself can help too. Make it concrete.
Okay, so self-kindness first. What else for daily habits?
Accepting who you are right now, not who you wish you were or who someone else is. Focus on your progress.
Cutting out the comparison game.
Absolutely. Maybe even write down things you want to develop or improve, framing it positively, rather than just listing flaws.
That reframing is subtle but important. Focus on growth, not deficits.
Yeah. And then get moving, stay active. Exercise is mentioned constantly.
Why is that so effective for confidence?
Multiple reasons. It boosts motivation. It helps you set and achieve small physical goals, which feels good. And it releases endorphins, which literally improve your mood. Find some way to include activity regularly.
Even just a walk can shift your state, can it?
Totally.
Yeah.
And another big one. Welcome mistakes as learning. Seriously. Stop seeing them as proof you're not good enough.
Easier said than done sometimes.
True. But try to consciously reframe. Accept imperfection. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Maybe even jot down the lesson learned.
So extracting the value instead of just feeling bad, that connects to the next point, I bet.
It does. Forgive yourself often. Don't get stuck ruminating on past errors. Acknowledge it, learn, and redirect your focus.
Letting go of that baggage. Okay, what else? The people around us matter.
Hugely. Surround yourself with supportive people. Actively seek out those who encourage you, who believe in you, who lift you up.
And maybe limit time with those who drain you or are constantly negative.
Definitely. Energy is contagious. Choose your company wisely. Also, practice gratitude.
Taking a moment each day to notice what you're thankful for.
Yes, even small things. It shifts your focus to the positive, builds a more optimistic and ultimately more confident mindset.
It's hard to feel totally hopeless when you're actively looking for the good.
Exactly. Another habit, set clear, achievable goals, even tiny daily targets.
Why does that help confidence?
It provides focus, direction, and a sense of accomplishment when you tick things off. That feeling of, I did what I set out to do, builds momentum.
Small wins add up. Makes sense.
Absolutely. And don't dismiss the surface stuff entirely. Dressing in a way that makes you feel good can genuinely provide a little boost.
Fake it till you make it, almost. Or just feeling put together?
More like feeling put together. When you feel good about your appearance, it often translates inward. And tied to that is how you speak, especially to yourself.
Switching from negative to positive self-talk again.
Yes. Consciously catch the "I can't" or "I'm not good enough" and replace it with "I can try" or "I'm learning." It rewires your thinking over time.
Okay, these are great daily practices. Anything else stand out?
A few more. Helping others. Focusing outward and making a positive impact boosts your sense of worth.
Takes the focus off yourself, too.
It does. Also, take calculated risks.
Yeah.
Step outside that comfort zone just a little bit regularly. It proves your capability.
Builds evidence that you can handle things.
Exactly. Daily reflection is valuable. Quick check-in on wins, lessons learned, and believe it or not, good posture.
Stand tall. Feel tall.
Pretty much. Shoulders back, head high. It affects how you feel and how others see you. Embrace failure as learning. Make time for things you actually enjoy and celebrate small victories.
Don't just brush off the little accomplishments. Acknowledge them.
Yes. Write down things you did well each day. Be a good friend to someone. Strengthens connection. Perfect that posture.
Okay, posture again. It must be important.
It seems to have a real psychological link.
Yeah.
And then there's almost instant things for a quick boost.
Yeah, you mentioned those. What are they?
Repeating affirmations. Simple positive statements. I am capable. I can handle this. I am confident. Write them down. Say them out loud.
Does that really work?
The idea is it starts to counteract the negative programming. Also, dance to high vibe music. Seriously, move your body, sing along. It shifts energy.
I can see that. Shake it off, literally.
And smile. Even forcing a smile can trick your brain into feeling a bit happier and more confident. Put a note on your mirror.
A smiley face reminder. Simple.
And finally, listen to inspiring content podcasts, videos focused on confidence. Keep feeding your mind positive input.
Wow, okay. That's a lot of actionable stuff, from deep internal shifts to quick daily habits.
Yeah, there's a whole toolkit there. But that leads us to the flip side, that persistent self-doubt. Why is it so common, and how do we tackle it? Especially things like imposter syndrome.
Oh, yes. Imposter syndrome. That feeling like you're a fraud, just waiting to be found out even when you're successful. It's surprisingly widespread.
It really is. In general, self-doubt, that lack of confidence in your abilities, can be paralyzing if it becomes chronic. With imposter syndrome specifically, people often feel undeserving, they attribute success purely to luck, and they live in fear of exposure.
And they might overwork like crazy to compensate, right? Trying to prove they're not a fraud.
Exactly. It's exhausting. So the strategies to combat this start with recognizing the pattern. Become aware of those negative thoughts.
Identify the triggers. What situations set off that "I'm not good enough" feeling?
Precisely. Then actively challenge those thoughts. Ask yourself, is this thought really true? What's the actual evidence? Counter the negativity with facts.
Like keeping an achievement journal, reminding yourself of past successes.
Yes, that's a great tactic. Keep a record of accomplishments, positive feedback, challenges you've overcome. It provides concrete data against the feeling of being a fraud. Practicing gratitude helps shift focus too.
Building your own case file for competence. I like it.
And set realistic goals. Break down big, intimidating tasks into smaller, manageable steps. This makes things feel less overwhelming and allows you to see progress.
Celebrating those small wins again.
Crucial. And please, stop the comparison. Focus on your own journey, your own growth. It's not a race against anyone else.
Easier said than done in our social media age, but vital.
It is. Also, build a strong support network. Talk to trusted mentors, friends, or peers who can offer perspective and encouragement. Sometimes hearing "you've got this" from someone else helps you believe it yourself.
Knowing you're not alone in feeling this way can be huge.
Absolutely. And shift your mindset from needing perfection to embracing growth. Mistakes are inevitable. See them as learning opportunities, not proof of incompetence.
That reframing again, it seems central to all of this.
It really is. Don't forget basic healthy habits, either exercise, good nutrition, enough sleep, maybe mindfulness or meditation. A healthy body supports a resilient mind.
Taking care of the fundamentals.
Yep. And if it feels overwhelming, truly seek professional help. Therapists or coaches are skilled at helping people work through these patterns. There's zero shame in that.
Absolutely not. It's a sign of strength to seek support.
And one last thing on this.
Yeah.
Affirm your strengths. Know what you're good at. Write them down, read them often, and try reframing imposter syndrome itself.
How so?
See it as a sign you're pushing boundaries. Feeling like an imposter often means you're trying something new, stretching yourself. It can actually be a sign of growth, not inadequacy.
That's a powerful shift. Okay, I feel like an imposter. That means I'm learning and stepping up.
Exactly. It takes the sting out of it a bit.
Okay, so tackling self-doubt involves awareness, challenging thoughts, focusing on growth, support, and self-care. Now, what about applying this to social situations? Building confidence when interacting with others.
That's a common area where confidence can waver. A key starting point is boosting your emotional intelligence.
Understanding your own emotions and reading others better.
Yes. Developing empathy, trying to genuinely understand where others are coming from, and looking inward too, what triggers your social anxiety. Knowing your patterns helps you manage them.
Self-awareness first, then what?
Work on effective communication. This isn't just about talking, it's maybe even more about listening. Practice active listening, really paying attention, not just waiting for your turn to speak.
Showing genuine interest, people respond well to that.
They do. Use open body language too. And strive for authenticity. Trying to be someone you're not is exhausting and usually doesn't work long term. Be yourself.
It takes courage, but it's more sustainable.
Definitely. A practical tip. Ask more questions. It shifts the focus off you and onto the other person. Plus, it keeps the conversation flowing. Stay reasonably informed about current events too, just to have some easy conversation starters.
Having something neutral to talk about can ease the pressure.
It can. And try not to let nervousness take over. Focus on being present in the moment, in the conversation, rather than being stuck in your head worrying.
Easier said than done, but practice helps.
Yes. Start small. Practice in low-stakes environments. Maybe chat with a cashier, then a small gathering, gradually increasing the challenge. Don't jump into the deep end immediately.
Build up that social muscle gradually.
Exactly. And again, surround yourself with positive, confident people. Their ease can rub off on you. Be mindful of time spent with overly negative or critical individuals. They can drag you down.
Choose your social circle wisely.
It matters. And fundamentally, like building any confidence, it comes down to action. You have to try. You have to put yourself out there, even when it feels uncomfortable.
That seems to be the recurring theme: action precedes confidence, not the other way around.
Precisely. You don't wait until you feel confident to act, you act, and that builds the confidence. Remember that 5-second rule idea. Count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just move. Just start the conversation. Just walk into the room. Interrupt the hesitation.
A little trick to overcome that initial inertia.
Yeah. And view any awkward moments or failures as learning. What could you try differently next time? It's all data gathering.
Not a judgment on your entire social capability.
Exactly. Focus on your own growth, on connecting with people, not on achieving some impossible standard of social perfection.
That's really helpful. It makes it feel more manageable. And you mentioned resources earlier. Any specific books or authors that kept coming up in the materials?
Well, Nathaniel Branden's 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem is clearly foundational for the deep work. For a more modern, practical, and kick-in-the-pants approach, Jen Sincero's You Are Badass gets mentioned.
Right. That one's popular. Very direct style.
It is. And James Clear's Atomic Habits, while about habit formation in general, is incredibly relevant here. Building confidence often involves building consistent, small, positive habits. His framework is perfect for that.
Applying habit science to confidence building?
Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah. And for ongoing input, things like the Mel Robbins podcast often cover these themes with actionable advice and mindset shifts, drawing on similar principles.
So resources are out there that reinforce and expand on these ideas.
Definitely. It's about finding what resonates with you, but the core principles seem consistent. Understand self-esteem, build positive habits, challenge doubt, take action, and learn from experience.
It really feels like a journey, not a destination. We've journeyed through the landscape of self-esteem and confidence, uncovering actionable strategies from setting daily habits to challenging ingrained self-doubt. Remember, building confidence isn't about overnight transformations, but consistent, intentional practices.
Absolutely. And think about the power of those small marginal gains, the 1% improvements we talked about with habits. They really compound over time, building solid confidence.
Think about those 6 pillars again. Living consciously, self-acceptance, self-responsibility, self-assertiveness, living purposefully, and personal integrity. Where could you maybe focus a little more effort?
Yeah, reflect on that and remember the importance of just doing. Taking action, even when you feel like an imposter, maybe especially then, seeing its growth and reframing setbacks not as failures, but as essential learning experiences.
And maybe the most important takeaway, remember that the most crucial relationship you'll ever have is the one with yourself. So focus on nurturing that relationship. Be kind, be responsible, be authentic.
Well said. If you found value here but haven't subscribed yet, why wait? Every subscriber fuels this channel to keep delivering the real game-changing content you need. Hit like, drop a comment, and subscribe. And now the W, don't miss out on the next episode that could change everything for you.